Welcome to the New World Order Showcase Podcast. Your host, Jill Hart, the Coach's Alchemist. Couldn't be more excited to have you join us today. On this podcast, we celebrate the champions of change, the up-and-coming life, health and transformational coaches who are fearlessly stepping forward to make a difference in the world. Get ready for inspiring stories, practical tips, and powerful moments that will motivate you to make a positive change in your life and those around you. We're happy to have you join us on this incredible journey as we dive into the world of life, health, and transformational coaches who are lighting up the path towards a better tomorrow.
Hi, and welcome to the New World Order Showcase Podcast. Today we have with us Michael Andre Ford, and you guys are in for a treat. Michael helps pull back the veil, allowing people to meet, see, and hear angels, spirit guides, and light beings. He's shown me the joy card. My father's girlfriend is named Joy, and I just picture her because she is the embodiment of joy. She's just like, she's helped him so much, and it makes me smile when I see that card.
Well, thanks for having me on, Jill. I appreciate it.
I am so glad that you joined us, and I want you to tell us how you got started in all of this. It's just so fascinating, and just go ahead. Tell us how you got started.
Hey, those are real. Those are real photos of angels. I was super shy about all this at the beginning. I was more like a deer in headlights, 100 million deer in headlights. I was a good American wondering, what the heck am I seeing, hearing, feeling? And I even had a hard time with the concept of maybe people being intuitive, spiritual, whatever. But you know it. Everyone knows it. Everyone's kind of connected. But you know it through sports when you've got some athletic prowess, or you're an artist, a singer, just a good cook in the kitchen, or maybe you only have a couple recipes. But when you're in the zone, letting go, that flow. So I didn't make that leap. I didn't understand that, it's all kind of the same activity, whether you're reading just your favorite detective series or you do good business. When you let go, you let go. And it doesn't really matter what you're let going of. You're just here. So it's enjoying the ride in life. It's trusting that you have more skills and more ability to listen, feel, and see. And then later, yes, there's more around you all the time. So I would just mention, I had a Wall Street career for a couple of years in New York. I always looked super young. So when I was like 23, I looked like I was 14. I lost every money manager I had as a client over the phone in person. They'd see me and they'd never talk to me again. I looked that young. So I decided I was going to find an industry where the horsepower up here mattered, and that was public relations. So I did that for 18 years, corporate. I was putting people on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, all business press stuff, but Financial Times, New York Times, back when the press was the press. So I represented a lot of law firms, executive recruiters, some other companies, a venture capital group, and so on. But with 9/11, I ditched my own business, Ford Public Relations, and I went in-house. It was law firms. A Texas one that was 28th in the country. And then I got poached kind of from NASCAR to Formula One. I went to a top 10 billion-dollar revenue law firm, Weil Gotshal. I was their top publicist or PR person worldwide. And it was because of Lehman Brothers, I ended up losing my job about a year later, 72 of us, an hour's notice. And I was the only one excited. I bought a home in Texas. And it was then when I moved the home full time, I had to start living. Because when you're in New York doing the hustle and bustle, and we all know this, you get super busy. It could be family, it could be kids, it could be work. You can get consumed and forget what life is all about. Now, I was always a positive guy. I was talking to everybody. I thought had high energy, high vibe. I've been a runner for 40 plus years. But I didn't know how to fill a house. And I'd moved so many times on the East Coast, military family, boarding school, 25 to 40 plus moves. I never viewed a space as my space. So I needed to learn some basic principles in life. Everything is energy. Own your own flows and realize maybe there's something more around you and within you that's good, but that's bigger than what you can grasp. And I'm not talking religion necessarily. If you're religious, great. If you're non-religious, great. It's the same faith or a leap of faith, because you got to let go of what you know up here long enough to be here, to take a breath, to smile, to laugh, to enjoy the ride in life. And so that's the long answer for what was a crazy, almost Christmas Carol-like ride.
That's totally fascinating. So when did you first start seeing these beings?
Well, I mean, I had a bunch of stuff to get me to kind of take it seriously. A lot of times in the middle of the night, you hear about those stories. Some would-be healer later is getting nudged at 3 a.m., maybe 20 years at 3 a.m., some kahuna in Hawaii. I was not lazy, but not smart either. I would roll over and my cat would be braver and go to the living room. So I had a lot of little experiences, but there was a point where angels started to pop in. I got past the concept of Native American chiefs, Plato existing, and an angel named Joy did kind of a Roman candle in sort of a light CGI special effects move from, it would be literally like out of Christmas Carol, pink Roman candle shooting out of my floor, going through my ceiling saying, ta-da, hi, I'm Joy. And then 2 seconds later, off to the right, same thing again. And, you know, you're left dumbstruck, mouths probably stayed open. And I think for the next 2 days, I'm like, what did I just see? There's no way to grasp any of this. So I got lucky. I did what every red-blooded American will do. I grabbed a Sure-Shot camera, and I used to hand that camera to folks, but now you can just see with your eyes open, look out your window. Some people need a football field away. Others can do it in the living room, just 10 feet away. You can see your guardian angel, meet passed over relatives, Audrey Hepburn, Plato, Einstein. So I started taking photos of angels, indoors, outdoors, daytime, nighttime. And here's my guardian angel one way. And the photos help for other people as a great stepping stone. Picture this as 70 little steps of letting go, or baby steps to tap what you've already got here, to expand your existing business or athletic intuition, your skill set. How well do you listen? What are you even allowing for in life? But the photos, when you look at the photo, and there's a bunch on my website, all over my social media, go to my YouTube channel and watch people do it on the show. Got a show, and then also watch it in those little shorts. You get a chance to look at Geronimo, ask a question, and it's basic listening. So the photos are a great prop. In a sense, they're real angel photos. They can move and change color. Historical photos can move, wink, smile, Audrey Hepburn, Sai Baba from India. But you leave your eyes on the photo, let them do their jobs, and ask for a hug. A million ways to feel a hug.
Yeah, and we were doing some of these exercises before the show. It's kind of amazing how if you just let go of your thinking brain, the rest of your senses can kind of take over and allow you to have the experience. I went on an Akashic journey with another one of my guests a while back. She's also a good friend of mine. And she does it where she leads you to do it yourself rather than having somebody else do it for you, which was an interesting experience, because it's much like what you're doing with the cards, what you were doing with me with the cards. It's allowing me to have the experience and you're just the guide, versus somebody that's like soothsaying or something, or, you know, the old crone with the magic glass, the looking glass, the crystal ball. I know I'd get there.
It's not the it's the opposite of the 1920s, 1930s thing. I don't tell anybody anything. You get any answers to any questions, all languages and dialects spoken. You're from India, you get it in Hindi or Telugu. From Japan, get it in Japanese. You get it from that one prefecture outside of Tokyo that, you know, they have that nuanced saying, it, only if you live there could you have said it that way. So it's beautiful how tailored it is. But then angels also, you don't have any privacy. So think of it this way. You've got a particular situation. You don't have any privacy. They know your situation. So they also know how to navigate your 20 million value system. You've got 20 million different, you don't like the New York Jets, you like the New England Patriots, you know, you don't like Hawaii, but you like Idaho. The bottom line is they know how to navigate all that to just say something the right way. So for business, this is great. Get any business answer, who to call, when to call, exactly the phrase maybe to use as the approach, but also great for family relations. You know, there's a 12-year-old daughter. Good luck trying to reach them with what you're trying to say. We'll talk to their guardian angel and hear it just the way your 12-year-old needs to hear it. It's I love you, but it's getting around their defenses so you can actually plant the kiss emotionally and say, I love you. So it's that sort of thing. Plus, the hugs can become healing. Colorblind people have seen colors. And something that you said with your friend, you can close your eyes and have angels take you somewhere. It can be kind of more of a sacred journey, like Egypt or the Middle East at an oasis, Tibetan mountaintop, jungles of Asia or India, and you sit with figures from India plus angels, and they're all wardrobed out. You're like out of Cleopatra, the movie with Elizabeth Taylor. You yourself can check out. You're in that garb. It's incredible. You sit, you might have a ceremony of some sort. I like doing Hawaii the best because you get to go surfing. You don't need to know how to swim. You surf like Kelly Slater. If people know who that amazing surfer is, you just have the skill set. And I don't know how to explain that one, except you get a couple great rides, and then you get to have a luau on the beach. And there you can see your relatives at a distance while you're in the presence of Native American chiefs, Kapuna, Auntie Margaret, angels, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, whoever's important to you. That would be exciting. And if you're really cool about the relative, they can come up and sit with you. You can chat, get a hug, and just know you're not alone. I think that would be one of the biggest messages is love's the fabric of the universe. Kindness, gentleness, compassion is what we're all here to really actually experience more of and learn how to give it out a little better. Good luck with that. We're all busy. We got bills to pay, and then there's everything on TV. So it's a little bit of a opportunity and a struggle, and it's whatever you want to make of it.
It is, but there's an interesting balance between we got to go about business and we are these energetic beings having a life experience and trying to marry the two, because I think that's really where the magic happens in life. It's when you recognize that you're this energy and that you have this mission, and you can let yourself go and experience the more woo side of life, and just recognize that whatever you're doing, it's part of this flow. There's a direction that you should be going in, and if you just let go of the trying so hard, then the energy, the angels, that the spirits, the other souls that are constantly around us have a chance to help you. And they're here to help us. They want what's best for not only us, because each of us is connected to the next person, where we are one big organism operating in individual little bodies, entities, but we're all connected. We're individual, but we're not.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone's got a unique life path. Now, a lot of us could have gotten stuck in we went lawyering, or we thought we had to do the family business, and we felt like out of It's a Wonderful Life, we felt obligated. We couldn't leave the bank. So my bottom line on this is there's a first step, and it's a very basic first step. It's just recognizing the difference between your flow when you're up in the brain, a lot of stress, fear, worry, rejection, reacting, knowing to the preclusion of possibility, a lot of stuff that it's not necessarily negative. It could be neutral. It could be 1% negative, but a lot of it's a waste of energy when we're up here, and thinking's not going away. So don't start judging yourself. But then there's something when you're down here. It's all the creativity, the positivity, the love, the kindness, the compassion. It's also action without thought. That's when you kicked 6 soccer goals in a row, or you made 6 sales calls on one day and you got all yeses, and it was your greatest month ever. Or, you're just an artist and you did a amazing painting in half the time. You were in the flow. So when you recognize the difference between here and here, it becomes awfully hard to choose thinking every single time. It's like a hot stove. When you realize really what a lot of this is about, you dropped your heart a little more, maybe 5% more a week. And at that point, you're ready to get a little more definition on the unique life path. Like if you want to meet some angels, some guides, your relatives, great. They're there. Nobody wants to interfere if they're truly unconditional love. The view is, hey, everything is happening right now in your life. If you'd never heard me or heard the fact that angels exist, or there are photos of angels, you're good right now, but you have to trust that, and good luck with that. That could seem like a leap off of the biggest waterfall in Hawaii, because you know what you know. My situation is, my problem is, here are the facts. Hey, my bank account says $5. What do I do? So there is exactly what you said about getting going down here in life and letting life come to you, or just what you did as a kid, going with the flow, or whenever was the highlight of your life because you weren't thinking about things so hard.
and making things, trying to make things, force things to be the way that you think they should be, when really it's possible that in your pushing, you're disrupting everybody else who's around you, because you're pushing your energy into a space that's already occupied. So you're causing injury in that space that's in front of you, that you really are trying to get into. Whereas if you just let it flow, there's a space for you next to them. And then it's easy to go through.
Listening, allowing, slowing down the doing. That whole, to be or not to be Shakespeare, or being by doing, doing by being. I always confuse the two, but one is up here, one's down here. And it's maybe not going so fast during the day. So it's learning to simply appreciate all that already is in your life, building that gratitude practice, the appreciation practice. But I like allowing with a capital A. Compassion for all is life. So the more you can learn to sort of be here for an extra hour and a half a day. If you have to go for a walk, read a book, do yoga, cook a meal, it all counts. This is nothing complex. Touch water more, do poetry more, pet your dog more. But a lot of us are so busy, we're doing the phone driving. We're doing the phone as we walk into the home or the apartment. We skip our Fido who's been waiting 8 hours to see us, and we blow right into the next phone call. And so it's just literally realizing that this very moment is the occasion.
Yeah. And they don't all have to be around business or making money. Making money should just be like the offshoot of the life experience that you're having, because it's just a flow. It's a current that runs along our lives, and you can just scoop it out when the time is right. We have so much abundance, especially in this country. I mean, it's like it's everywhere.
And it's
and
what you said. It's what you said about money, but positivity itself is abundance. Learning just to go to here is all the abundance you ever need. The money is a byproduct. Will come with anything that you're excited about, enthusiastic about, passionate about. You are going to be successful at, but it's a shift in perspective. It's a little bit of the Wayne Dyer quote. Everything that you look at when you change the way you look at everything, the stuff that you look at shifts. Or it's the Einstein quote. The consciousness that says my problem is, or this is the situation, isn't the same consciousness that allows you to move past that situation and into five more problems. So you're stuck now. Remember, it's ebb and flow in life, and without a little bit of flavor, this contrast that's Earth School wouldn't be that exciting, actually. You'd just be happy all the time, doing anything you wanted all the time, and unlimited in terms of creating or co-creating if it was Esther Hicks. But the point on this is you're here to learn in energy consciousness form, or your consciousness, that the more you chillax or chill out, whatever way you need to say it for yourself, everyone's different how they roll right now when they're hearing this, the more you can just get out of the structure and more into the flow here, it's going to do a lot of good for you, for your health, for your business, for your relationships. Maybe you don't have that soulmate or just a loved one or a pet. It's getting going to live more and allow more.
And going in one direction. I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we tend to go all over the place, and we want to have all these multiple streams of income, and that doesn't work. I'm here to tell you, you're just going to chase after shiny objects time and time again. Whereas if you just get into the flow and you allow the thing that's easy, just get better at it. Get better at practicing the thing that's easy for you, because that's where you're supposed to be.
Agreed. How about this? Can I blow sage to your audience? This is where I light a little. And I've done this on maybe 40 shows in the last year. So Coast to Coast AM, I was on for 4 hours, I think in March of 2023, March 23rd.
I used to love Art Bell. I was delivering papers for a short while when my third son was born, or my second son, but third child. He would just join me as we threw papers.
Here's a little bit of sage, the type you can get at a Whole Foods. I think it's Juniper Ridge, the California company. Leave your eyes on the sage. Let angels, the universe, bring it to you. My unofficial tip is just breathe through your mouth a little. Leave your eyes on the smoke and smell it. But if you want the active only bit of structure I've got, ask angels, Ask your family ancestors to help you smell it. Some people taste it when they see it lit, but let it come to you. And then here's the point. That's still a linear response. I know we're going through 2 screens around the world, and you're not watching this show until 2024 January, let's say, even though the show's coming out probably in October of 2023. My point is time and space don't really matter. Ask for some flowers. I just had Lorna Byrne on my show catch daisies and roses in Ireland. And I think Jennifer McLean caught 3 different flower smells as well. My show is Angels, Positivity, and Love. I'll say it now so I don't forget it at the end. But the point is everybody gets to smell sage, and it's not a big deal. But ask it to cleanse your room, your apartment, your house, your property. If you've got health issues, again, always see a doctor, take medication. But ask for what you don't even know to ask for. Let it be a healing presence. It's like getting a hug. And that's what angels are great at. You don't have to have my photos or even use me. Do something to loosen up, go for a walk, have a great meal, have a red wine with your feet up on the back patio, look at the sunset, and then ask your guardian angel, your own angel team to come in, close your eyes for a second if you need to, or look at a tree. Ask to feel a hug. If you're focused on, well, I'm going to actually feel a hug, you'll get goosebumps down your back. There's a million ways to get a hug, a little energy push, a wind in the room when all the windows are shut, the AC unit is off. I've run to the thermostat 100 times because, we're all human. We want to doubt everything. We want to be up in the brain, trying to control, limit, and to fix in concrete, everything around us, especially people and business situations. We know what we know, and it's not about knowing up top. It's about almost not knowing, or the leap of faith to just trust more in everything around you. I'll do it one other way. If you see a stranger on a walk and it's the type of place where people wave still, and you're going to wave to a complete stranger, you're not wondering what NFL team type fan they are. Are they a New Orleans Saints fan? Well, I'm not going to then wave to them, or a political party or this or that. You just wave. That's a huge leap of faith. So that's the type of thing I'm talking about here. You're fully capable of being more in each moment. Just limit it to 4 times a week. You're never going to get it down. And even if you said, I'm going to do the sage thing and I'm going to go watch that video, it might be a month before you get to it. We forget everything all the time, and that's okay too.
Okay, so I had lavender.
Oh, good. Bravo. Yay.
And goosebumps.
Do you want me to put one photo of an angel up, Joy? You can be our guinea pig, and I don't mean to put it that way, our test subject.
Subject.
For folks at home, just put your hand up. You might feel on your fingers, your palm, everything. You might feel heat, sparkle, electricity. I'm not going to use any words. A million ways to feel an angel named Joy, who's the emotion joy. And she's here as she's here as the ambassador communicator to make it easy for you. So feel what you can feel. Don't judge. You might get it down your back, but ask for a hug as well while you're feeling with your hand. Go 2 different routes. Get a whoosh or goosebump on the neck, back, feel what you can feel on the hand, and then ask her, hey, Joy, what do I need to know in life right now? And listen. It might be your voice for 1 second. Just let go a little more, breathe a little more, and you'll hear your own voice. What do you think half your intuition's been this entire time? Not the one that said, take that Jag and go 120 miles an hour. It wasn't your Jaguar. That's the bad intuition. More like Magnum PI in the 1980s. If anyone ever saw that detective thing, he had a little intuitive voice. So it was a spirituality show, if you can believe it. But listen to the good voice. It's your heart. How about that? For safety, it's your heart, or it's your soul, if you don't mind hearing that. But it's also your angels who, if you're at a golf course, you're a big golfer, and you're in the middle of a tournament, you're that good. And you're talking to yourself because you know you're on a roll, and you're like, let's smack this baby. I don't know how you talk if you're a golfer, but I want to get a hole in one. I want to only 2 more strokes it into the hole. You're on a roll. You're pushing yourself. If your Aunt Martha, who passed over 20 years ago, said, smack that ball in her voice, you'd probably quit the tournament and be freaked out. So think of it that way. Half the good intuition coming in is your relatives, your angels, your guides, your pets supporting you. They're all around you all the time. So you don't have to see it. You can. You don't have to get a hug. You can. And you don't have to get all your answers. You can totally get all your answers. Just trust that you're heard one way if you want to be safe and slow about this. Know that when you speak, you're heard, and try to rein it in a little about talking about your neighbor that you don't like or the business person you don't like. There's some negativity there. The less you do of that and the more you just focus on being here, everything else will take care of itself.
Wow. I'm just caught up in like communicating with joy, listening to you talk.
I'm enthusiasm, so I can go on forever, but I have a high vibe. I help people get out of their own way and to trust that their heart is you're already a rock star. You're already Fort Knox, if you want to think about business. You're already just fantastic at basic listening, basic feeling and seeing. But those 70 baby steps I talked about, one good act of letting go, which I would argue anybody who caught flowers or the scent of sage halfway across the globe in New Zealand right now, that's like 10 of the steps. So one act of letting go can be 1/5 of the way for the big picture. You just have to learn that your plumbing, your electricity, your senses are just fine. And when you do look at yoga or your sports or your business or what high school was like, if you had a good time in high school, some point in your life, everything was like perfect. Maybe your childhood. You never lost that flow, that connection to everything. Yes, stuff happened. PTSD, the car accident, the health issue, the divorce, 6 divorces and 13 dogs. And you don't understand my situation. I got $25 in the bank. But my point is, so it's not about the physical deep details. Keep letting go on everything until your natural, authentic you pops back out and says, oh, I've got a broader perspective, and you can get going living again.
Yeah. And not being so caught up in where you physically are in the moment, because it's just a moment. And you may as well enjoy the surroundings because you're there for the moment. But other things are going to come along. Nothing is static in this world. Not even human beings or the desk that you're sitting next to or the chair that you're sitting on. It's in motion. Everything is in motion, and everything continues to move along a path. And you can fight it, you can try to swim upstream, but it's just going to make your life miserable. Or you can enjoy the ride, see where it takes you.
Everything's energy. So if you've got a pet, you can see your dog's aura. Or if you watch the movie Celestine Prophecy, they do it this way. You can see your aura, the light between your fingers. But in India, they do it this way. I can do a really quick one. This is a regular American Bic lighter. There's nothing hard about this. You're just going to name the color of the flame, a white, a gold, a yellow. What do you see?
Yellow.
Okay. Now ask Joy to come in and see a little bit of pink light on the same flame. Just allow. I'll tell one dad joke real quick to help everybody get a little lighter. Santa's reindeer, Blitzen Dancer, just those two. Why do they drink so much coffee? Because they're Santa's Starbucks. Now let Joy come in and have a little pink light around the light.
Yep, pink light.
Now replay that. And I know it's a bad dad joke, but the whole point is it's not about rejecting the joke or, oh, I don't like dad jokes. Welcome to adulting. It's about lightening up and watch what happens in your life on every front. So with her, have anybody who needs the help, pretend my finger's the lighter. Go ahead and see my energy coming off. I'll go on an old bodyboarding surf trip. And are you already seeing my light right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yay, good job. And on that one, if anybody needs to go jump in their swimming pool or hug the dog or hug a tree or go barefoot on the grass, do something extra to let go if you think you need the help. I'll give you the magic line, or I don't like the word magic, but the one letting go line, the only bit of structure I've taught in 12 years, thousands of folks, is just, hey, angels, get me out of my head into my heart, make this nice. Amen, rock and roll. Thank you. If you're from India and you like Sai Baba, Om Sai Ram, you got to set your intent. So for the tennis players who've got a match next Thursday, set your intent now for the best match in the world. You're not only going to win, but you're going to have fun.
I love this. I've been able to see auras for a large part of my life, but never really did it too much or talked about it too much.
You can turn it on anytime you want. And I recommend to folks, the two best places I know of are the theater. So you're seeing a movie, pick 6 rows down, be as respectful as you can. Look at the back of their head and tune out like the most boring or the most exciting professor. You know how that was in high school or college. You'll start to see a little thing of light, but right now you could stare at my nose. If you need help, go to here. and you can start to see a band of light. And I'll tell one more dad joke. It's a hospital joke, but it's still a good one. Doctors and nurses still haven't heard it. Where in a hospital is the worst place to play hide and seek? Where in a hospital? The ICU. As you laugh, you're letting go.
Terrible dad jokes.
Yeah, and here's the duality thing, or the non-duality thing that Buddhists talk about in many other circles. You breathe all the time, but you're not really conscious of the breath. It's usually the once a year physical for the doctor with a stethoscope. So the more you can just breathe bigger, the more you bring oxygen in, the more you flow, the more you connect to everything in and around you. I think it was Peaceful Warrior. I love the movie, gymnastics movie, very safe. Zen, a little bit like an adult Karate Kid film. Peaceful Warrior, check out the book Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman. But I'm losing my track on that one, but the bottom line is you already have everything within. And if you just trust a little more, you're going to find that the universe opens up tons of doors. It's like The Alchemist or Esther Hicks. Universal forces are in place to help you follow that unique life path, whether we're talking business, relationships, love, you learning to overcome your obstacles you were handed earlier in life. And so it gets amazingly colorful. I've lost 2 parents, lots of ebb and flow. And in what I do here, you think, I mean, it's incredible. Miracles happen and people throw hugs on you and they're like, oh my God, miracles. But for every one person doing this, there's 2 people who have completely rejected it. And they could be the spiritual industry or this organization that's all about angels. So I think it's really whenever you catch a person, they could be completely slamming the door on you. And then 2 years later, they could be the nicest person. They don't remember rejecting you and they do it all. And even then you got to let that go. So this isn't about failures, accomplishments. This isn't about gaining or losing anything. I'm going to quote angels, move past seeing the negative. That's deep. This isn't about fixing anything. It's not up to humans to fix anything. You're here to literally learn and share and be more love, more sparkle up here. That sage person that you love hanging out with, that you're like, how do they do what they do? They just feel good to be around. You do that and you practice being in the moment. Anything you touch is going to be love, and love is the definition of success.
I love it.
Ditto. I love it too. Now it's Casablanca. If anybody remembers Humphrey Bogart and who's that Swedish actor? Ingrid Bergman.
Ingrid Bergman.
But when the gendarme, chief of police, walks into the casino, now he gambles there every night, but he's acting like he's never been there before. And he goes, I'm shocked to see there's gambling going on in this casino. And a waiter sneaks up to him with the envelope with all the cash stuffed in. And he's like, sir, your winnings? And he goes like this. And he's like, I'm shocked to see there's gambling going on here. Close the place down and arrest the usual suspects. Now, that casino and all the gambling is our thinking. It ain't going to stop. You've just had 19 reactions today to seeing light, to the fact that angels could exist. So you have to find your own way, if it's a pool party, to dip your toe into the pool. I'm the type, 2 hours later, I might not even have touched the pool. It's cold. Or an hour later, I'm only up to my knees. Now, a lot of people will cannonball right in. So find an entry point. The pool is your heart. The pool is spirituality. The pool is the universe. It doesn't matter. But it's got to go through what you know. This is Seth from the 1970s, the whole New Age, Jane Roberts, the whole foundation for this. You can meet Seth, light being, but it's through the world you knew and into a greater reality. And that was Peaceful Warrior as well. It's the last place, according to the garage attendant, gas station attendant, where you want to go is your own heart. It's scary. You got burned there once, like a hot stove in a bad way. And yet it's the number one place you want to reside. So it's really getting to know yourself and then allowing the universe to fill in everything you signed up for to be here. You know, not just great business, but great relationships, that loved one, you know, maybe start with the pooch.
Yeah. All right. This has been so amazing.
Well,
I loved it so much, Michael. What's the one thing that you want to leave the audience with today?
Just allow more, love more. Don't worry about any of the details I threw out today. Trust in the little things in life. Like try to enjoy that, you know, the commute. It's the worst commute in the world. It's the Thich Nhat Hanh Pieces Every Step, that little book. Find mindfulness in the middle of washing some dishes or mowing the lawn. If you can crack that kind of code, everything else that you touch is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, that is very true. It's the Marie Kondo approach to laundry. Be grateful for each piece as you fold it.
Exactly. And notice the colors in your clothing, and get colors. If you're just dressed in black and tan and white, get some colors in your clothing.
Yeah. Pick the ones that make you feel good. Who cares if they match your complexion or not?
Exactly. No limits.
No limits. All right. So you have 2 YouTube channels, you have a website, and you have a book, if I'm remembering.
Yeah, everything
correctly.
is at my website, which is just my name, Michael, Andre like the champagne, Ford like the truck or car, michaelandreford.com. The YouTube channel is at Michael Andre Ford. And the show is Angels, Positivity, and Love, started in January. We've got 42 episodes taped by the middle of this month, with episode 30 coming out this weekend, a New Zealand healer. This currently right now is Lorna Byrne. In the fall, you're going to see Jennifer McLean. Echo Bodine has said yes. Some pretty famous longtime healers, but it's healers, authors, experts, show hosts themselves, and they take a lot of steps on air. So take confidence watching others do it, whether it's smelling sage, talking to angels, and so on. No limits.
That's perfect. And we'll make sure we put the show or the links in the show notes below. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Great to meet you, and look forward to connecting again.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the You World Order Showcase podcast. We hope you've enjoyed hearing from our incredible life, health, and transformational coaches who are making a profound impact on the world. Remember, change begins with you, and you have the power to transform your life and the lives of others. If you want to take that next step and unlock your true potential, visit thecoachesalchemist.com, where you can find the 3 ways we can help you for free to spin your talent into gold with clarity, a system, and a plan. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an inspiring episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us reach more people with our positive message. Stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and upcoming guest announcements. You can find us on Facebook at the You World Order, or simply visit thecoachesalchemist.com.